Hi, my name's Ken Colby. I'm the author of Green Screen Wizard. Today I'd like to demonstrate my product to you, but before I do I'd like to talk a little about green screen photography in general. In green screen photography you start with a person photographed against a green background. Once you've taken the photograph you bring it into your computer and then crop it so that the green will fill the background of the image. Now the way green screen photography works is it detects all the green in an image and replaces that green with whatever background you choose. You'd think this was a simple process, but it's not. It turns out, for example, that hair will change the color of the green background. So if you take out green that just matches the background, you'll have clumps of green in the person's hair. If you take out the clumps of green, you remove clumps of hair. So basically the program has to do a lot of processing to try to restore the original color of the hair and yet extract the green. Also green can spill over on something like a white dress or a black shirt. So all these things have to be taken into account. Now a lot of people say, well, it's Green Screen Wizard. Does it work with blue screens? And the answer is yes, it does. I'll be demonstrating that later and you'll see how it works with a blue screen. Another question I'm often asked is, well, what kind of backgrounds can I use? Basically, you can use any background that's on your computer. You don't have to use our backgrounds. So if you want to put a person in a beach or in the stars or with a plain background, you choose whatever you want, and that's okay with Green Screen Wizard. So let's take a look at the product now. So it starts out. This is called Green Screen Wizard Full, which is our standard version. It costs $99. It's got a very simple push button interface, load a foreground, load a background, adjust the image, so on and so forth. So let's start by loading a different background. And since she was saluting, let's load the American flag. And that's really all you have to do. Green Screen Wizard will automatically combine the foreground and the background image for you. And notice that it doesn't look like the girl is just cut out and stuck on the flag. It actually looks like she's standing in front of the flag. And that's because we use something called reality integration, which is proprietary to Green Screen Wizard. With reality integration, it actually takes a look at all the edges and the actual background colors and tries to create a realistic combination. So let's take a look at a different model. So we'll take a picture of our swimsuit model here. And notice we don't have to wait. We'll load our beach back. And so now we're going to have a picture of a lady on the beach. But I'm doing all this because I want to demonstrate a new feature for the full version, which is to have a single overlay. And so we'll load the swimsuit magazine, if I can find it here. There we go. Swimsuit modeling. And there you go. Instant magazine covers. So we sell 30 of these magazine covers. I'm sorry, 20 of these magazine covers. And they come in two styles. One that works with the full version and then a more advanced version for the pro version. But as you can see, it's pretty easy now to put anybody you want on a magazine cover. And you can sort of adjust them around, make sure they fit. There you go. Alright, remember I told you I'd demonstrate how to use Green Screen Wizard with a blue screen. Well, here's an example of that blue screen photo. Now, in order for us to remove the blue, we have to go to Adjust Image and go to the Combine page and select Using a Blue Screen. Then it'll recompute the blue, or recompute the values, and replace the blue with the background. Now notice you see we have our nice green flowers back and the person's cut out pretty well. Now people say, well, why do you use a blue screen versus a green screen? The answer is, well, the obvious answer is if the person's holding green flowers, you need to use a blue screen. Or if they're wearing a green shirt, you need to use a blue screen. But it's better to use a green screen in general because most people don't wear blue jeans, or most people wear blue jeans, they don't wear green jeans. A lot of people have blue eyes. They don't have green eyes, so it's just a much less common color, this bright green that the screen has. This green screen wizard will take out too much. Well, here's a good example of that. As soon as it comes up, you'll see that the Indian's hair is chopped out. Well, that's because Green Screen Wizard is worried that there might be dark areas on the screen, so it automatically removes black areas. But in this case, it's not a black area, it really is her hair, so we'd like to get it back. So we have a lot of adjustments for that, and they are all under this thing called Combine. And we have two types of Combine. The first one we call Easy Combine, because it's easy. And you can go ahead and select black hair, and look at that. All her hair comes back. Now if there were big black folds in here, they might come back too. So if you're shooting a person with black hair, make sure you try to keep all the shadows off the screen. So again, you can have dark shadows, light shadows, you can make things more or less transparent, you can add green and subtract it. Now in addition, we also have more detailed settings. So here we can fine-tune our settings. For example, we wanted to restore dark areas. You can see obviously that's not a good setting. And we add more and more and more and more and more, and we can start to see that we've added a little too much. But right about there is good. And we can make things less transparent, or we can make things way too not transparent at all. So the default settings are pretty good, and there's documentation in the help file that explains how to use all this stuff. The other thing you can do is you can look at the original file, original photo. You can show the selected areas, and if you have white objects, you can brighten them. Now, if the product runs too slowly, you can turn off reality integration. You can see it makes it for a harder image. But if you're doing a high resolution image and the program's running too slow, you can just turn off that background integration. So let's see how we did. Very nice. So we have the hair nicely restored, nice and black, and we're in good shape. So let's take a picture of our beautiful bride here and load the appropriate background. Now notice this background is wider than it is tall, and I think we'd like to take advantage of that. So we haven't talked about this slider at the bottom, but this slider allows us to do horizontal or vertical and different image sizes, but we'll do our 5x7 horizontal. And Green Screen Wizard will redraw its interface to accommodate the different size photo. But as you can see, our bride doesn't fit very well, so we have to go to Adjust Image and do some scaling. And let's do that. Ooh, wrong way. And let's put her right about there. Okay. Now if you know anything about the rule of thirds, you want 2/3 of the photo to be interesting and the person to be standing in the other third. But usually you want the person to face into the larger part of the photo, so you can see our bride is kind of turned around. So let's see what we can do about that. And we of course have the cool rotate command, and we can click flip horizontally, and voila, now she's facing the right way. So this is a pretty beautiful image, and I'm sure any bride would be happy to have it. But just for demonstration purposes, let's change out the background. Let's try her on a sunset. Now again, the sunset would be okay, but we could have used fill-in flash, so this is a perfectly acceptable photo. But again, for demonstration purposes, let's say that what we really wanted is for her to match in a little better. So we'll darken her up a bit. We'll pull out a little of the red and green. Not quite so much. There we go. And we'll try to produce an image that makes it look more like it's she's really at the sunset. And again, we use those adjusting images to try to match the foreground to the background. And they're very handy, so it's nice to have them. Okay, the other new feature we added was we can put some labels on here. So we could say Ken and let's just do Ken and Linda. And we can make it cursive. This will be a little fancier. Okay, and then we'll give it a note. So let's do January 2008. And we'll make it white so it shows up better. And maybe we'll see if we like it larger. Yeah, that looks a little better. Okay, so that's basically an image and we're pretty happy with it. So what we want to do now is, of course, we could always save the image, but let's print it. So for each image size there's a default layout. So for 5x7, I figure most people have 8x10 printers, so I made two 5x7s. You could also do one 5x7 if you want to do that, or you could pick like 4 3x5s, or really anything that you want to do. Now you don't have to print all the same image. If you want to replace an image, you can simply click and bring in some other image. Hopefully it'll be one that you saved. And then all you do is you click print and you say OK, wait a second, and away it goes. Now that pretty much concludes what I want to say about Green Screen Wizard Full. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Please look at the presentation on the Pro version where we'll discuss some of the more advanced features. And thank you very much for listening.